Hello everyone of YouTube, what is up? It is the very first day of November, but I still have Halloween videos to do. Now before I get to this review, I'm just going to say, I am sorry for not being able to get many reviews. It has been hectic here at school. So this is something I am going to call Halloween movies in November. October in November. October reviews and November reviews all in November. So, what movie am I talking about today? I am talking about a movie that is a good horror film, yet also, I guess you could say, kind of a monster film. It's a horror monster film, and it is directed by Drew Goddard, who has only directed today's review, The Cabin in the Woods, Cloverfield, and those are the only two movies I can remember, but I actually think those are World War Z. So the only three movies he has done that anyone knows the name of is Cabin in the Woods, Cloverfield, and World War Z. So this movie, The Cabin in the Woods, it takes place of these 5 people who just graduated, who are wanting to spend some time in a cabin in the woods, who are just wanting to spend some time after graduating. Trust me, after graduating, this sounds a whole lot better than what happened when I graduated. When I graduated, I had to go to freaking hospital to be operated on. I had to have a tube in my stomach. Anyway, but I'm here to talk about the movie Cabin in the Woods that has a lot of great actors like Kristen Connolly, who the only movie, this is the very first time I've ever heard of her. The only other movie that I know she's done is like a Mona Lisa Smile. Never watched it, but that's another movie that she was in. We have Chris Hemsworth, which you know as, hold on one second, which we know him as the God of Thunder, Thor, if you all can see that. If you can't, I'm sorry. But anyways, we have him. We have someone else in this movie who, for some reason, her career isn't taking off. But she had such a good part in this movie. She was hot. I am, of course, talking about Anna Hutchinson as someone from all our childhoods. And if you ever watched Power Rangers, you will know what I'm talking about. Just one second. Wait. And booyah. Enjoy. You will know who I'm talking about after watching this.
So you're a phantom beast. Ha! Jungle beast! Spirit unleashed!
Yes. We get a hot Power Ranger, a former hot Power Ranger, and she's the whore in this movie. She's so freaking hot. She's so hot. But unfortunately she dies in this movie, which is sad. So anyways, the plot of this movie involves as these 5 teens who have just graduated, and they're going to a cabin in the woods. So let's see, we have the whore, who is Anna Hutchinson. We have Kristen Connolly, the virgin. We have Chris Hemsworth, the jock. We have Fran Kranz, who is the stoner, who knows all of these people, except the virgin. And then we have William Jesse, who plays the friend of the jock. Now, so this movie kicks off with the chick who just graduated. She is looking at former pictures of her professor, and then we see Anna Hutchinson come up, who is hot as a blonde, who is saying, "Oh, come on, what are you talking about? Every teacher screws her student and then breaks up with her by email." So yes, she apparently had a thing with her professor, which a lot of girls have that, but you know what? Okay then. So, as everyone packs up and gets ready to leave, we see somebody on the roof who's saying the people have just left. So now apparently as this movie goes on, we see that there's this big organization betting on who's going to survive and who's going to die out of these 5 people. And as they stop for gas, and whenever you stop for gas, you always come across some creepy dude. So, they come across to him, and he says, they ask for directions. And so he says, you go that way. Getting there is fine. Getting back, that's your problem. So then we find out that these people are being punished for all the sins that they've done, apparently. And they're trying to keep, according to Sigourney Weaver is in this movie. She is a pretty big part of this movie. She's apparently a part of this whole big thing in order to keep these ancient gods, these big ancient gods who ruled the world, which is bullcrap. There's only one God. Amen. As long as if we sacrifice these 5 people or 4 people, as long as a virgin survives or dies, it doesn't matter. it will keep them from coming back and destroying us. So they have to offer 5 people, and as every person gets ganked, we see these stones. And it takes you a while to figure out what the heck these stones mean, but when we finally get there, we see each stone as a representative of what these people were like. We see the stone of this girl named Jules, who's played by the Hot Yellow Ranger. Hers is her of unbuttoning her dress. The other one, Chris Hemsworth, the jock. The scholar, who's the smart guy, who's hitting on the virgin. And then we see the virgin. And then we see the stoner. We see what his statue looks like. And as this whole scene goes on, you know, these people, they drink, they party. We don't have any sex. We have like one scene, but and what we basically get is as these people are, they drive in like this little big bulb thing, like nothing can get out. Once they get in, they're done. It's like a survival horror game, like when you're in Resident Evil. If you've played the first Resident Evil, you know what I'm talking about. You're in that mansion. Once you're in there, you're done. You're stuck there till you can find another way to get out. So as they walk around this place, Chris Hemsworth's character says, you know, my cousin bought this. He's letting me use it for the weekend. So as they go off, there's someone on the roof saying that they've left, and then they find out that it's their choice. If they decide to go to the cabin, you know, they're done. But they can either decide to leave. The creepy guy at the gas station, he's like, okay, you have a second chance to get out of here and live. But so, you know, they decide, screw it, you don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna go to the cabin anyway. So, you know, they go there, and all these people, we get Richard Jenkins from Step Brothers, who played their dad. He's an associate who's involved in this. We get Bradley from frickin' Billy Madison, the one who snapped and put a gun and demanded a new question. And these guys were hilarious. As you know, they're all making bets and stuff on who's going to live and who's going to die. And we have this other chick, the scientist chick, and we have this new guy who's been told everything about the ritual. And I'm guessing he doesn't feel very right about it. I mean, I guess he doesn't, because there was a certain scene in this movie where they were trying to escape in their camper, and they were supposed to blow the mountain, but the mountain hadn't blown yet because something happened with the electronics. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this guy doesn't think this is right, maybe he's trying to stop it. But we never find out. So each one dies one by one, but they die on how they chose to die. It's kind of like Ghostbusters, if you've ever watched Ghostbusters. Goes with the Gozerian? I didn't choose anything! Just popped in there. What, Ray? What just popped in there? It's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Anyway, so they find that there's this open hatch that leads to a basement, which if you go down in a basement, you know something's messed up down there. And they all mess with this stuff. And they find this book. And it's about these people who were tortured in this basement, in this dark room. And there's something in Latin, and the girl reads in Latin, the virgin reads in Latin. I'm like, okay, if there's something in Latin, you don't read it. You do not read it. You don't read something in Latin. Are you stupid? So she reads it, and then all of a sudden we get these zombies. And it's apparently from how they chose their destructor. By her reading the Latin thing, by Chris Hemsworth characters playing with like this little music box thing, with all the stuff that they messed with, that basically chose how they were going to die. So it was like, they like all had, the guys in the company had like this big, humongous whiteboard, and it had all the ways how they were going to die. You know, one was merman, one was redneck zombies, one was just zombies. And so, you know, these redneck zombies are coming after, they're ganking them one by one. We do get this scene with Chris Hemsworth and Anna Hutchinson when they're getting ready to get it on. We do see her boobs. Of course, though, I am a Christian man, but anyway, it's a freaking Power Ranger. All we need now is a chick who played Kimberly in the original Power Rangers. That is every Power Ranger fan's dream. So anyway, they're basically trying to get these two to get it on before she dies. And how I'm getting it, they're basically getting these kids to walk into a trap, you know. They have this all place set up, like they're making the place more romantic for the two. They're adjusting this smoke that like increases their hormone levels or whatever. And so, you know, they start kissing him, and like she's putting her hands down and she's like getting ready to grip the ground because it looks like they're about to get it on. All of a sudden this redneck stabs her in the hand, and then they get like this big wood saw, like you have to take two people. Like you have to take two people to... They take it and they just cut her. And they cut her freaking head off. So Chris Hemsworth runs into the house, and he's like, they're like, well, where's Jules? She's gone. All of a sudden, this big zombie guy just has her head and throws it to the virgin. She's like... So, you know, the race is on to get out of the cabin and get to safety. So, and as you watch the trailer, and as I say, you know, we got to stay together, and then all of a sudden, Chris Hemsworth's character says, never mind, this isn't right, we should split up. The reason why he said that is because they're freaking out, because some people are starting to finally catch on. You know, like the stoner, he's finding stuff, like he's noticing that the way that Chris Hemsworth and Anna Hutchinson are acting, they're not acting the way that they act. Even when they're drunk, this isn't the way that they act. They never act like this. So he's like, okay, we're not ourselves. Something is definitely off. Nothing is right. So, you know, as he goes on around the movie, he's trying to figure out what's going on. And this guy is very smart. Even though he's a stoner and all he does is smokes weed. The dude has a freaking bong out of like a... The guy has like a bong that's like a coffee mug right here, but it grows longer. And like when he uses it as a weapon, I'm like, that is freaking awesome. So, then Chris Hemsworth's character dies because when they decide to, you know, leave the cabin after Franz's character finds the remote and then gets attacked by a zombie, which you think he's dead. And you know, so right now all it is the black guy and the virgin and the jock. So, and they have his motorbike. So I was like, all right, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ram it as hard as I can. I'm gonna jump it. I'm gonna go get for help. So, and you honestly, you have hope. You're like, okay, yes, he's gonna get some help. This is gonna be awesome. All of a sudden, here's the bike, and here's the wall. And you're like, oh my freaking gosh, it is a wall. So he hits it as hard as he can, and his body's just falling down, hitting and hitting and hitting. And every time a person dies, we see like their blood is put in a machine somehow, like it's drained, and it's put on their stones that they each represent. So, you know, after that, the guy decides, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get in the van, and I'm just gonna ram it. We're just gonna drive away. And when he's driving, all of a sudden, another zombie redneck freaking takes a pit like a scythe and just stabs it through his throat, and then the van goes into the water. And so, you know, they think the people of the corporation are like, all right, awesome, we've got this, we've got it. And this is not just this one place, but all over the freaking world. People in Japan, Russia, this is happening to everyone. Freaking 9-year-old Japanese kids were able to save themselves by saying some kind of Japanese prayer and putting the dark soul into a happy frog. I don't know. So, but the scenes with Richard and the guy who played Billy Madison were so freaking funny. And so, you know, they're all celebrating and drinking, and you know, the new guy's like, you guys are celebrating at this? And he's like, no. The chick's like, no, they're celebrating, I'm drinking. So as you know, they're partying, getting on. All of a sudden this red phone calls. It's like it's like Batman. Oh crap, Batman. So then all of a sudden, he tells them, all right, turn the music off. And he gets a phone call. We have no idea who's on the end of the phone. And so they says there's one person still left alive, and it's the Virgin. Or so they think. We think that it's the Virgin, and when the Virgin's getting ready to die, all of a sudden here comes Mr. Coffee Mug guy. Mr. Coffee Mug, that reeks. Mr. Coffee Mug dude, to the rescue! Bang! And so he finds an elevator, and they go down, and this corporation has all these freaking nightmares, from zombies to creatures to a humongous snake. And so when they get in the elevator and they list this security guard, he's gonna bring the girl, he's gonna save the girl, but let the stoner die, because the Virgin is the only one that has a choice to live. They can either kill the Virgin or they can just let her die. So then all of a sudden, they find out that they chose their destructor by all the stuff they're playing with in the basement, like I said before. And so the cops like, just, you know, give me the girl and you stay here. All of a sudden he gets whacked in the side of the head, and then they take his gun and they find the control room. They let loose all of the creatures they had. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like freaking awesome. All these creatures and nightmares that they had. Like they had a ghost, they had a humongous snake, they had a guy with freaking saw blades in his head just holding the box that Christopher Hemsworth's character was messing with. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is freaking messed up. So like all the creatures get on this rampage and they're taking everyone out in the company. It's taking the guy from Billy Madison. He gets taken out by what he wanted to kill them. He gets taken out by a merman. So like the new security guard, the black guy, he's getting eaten up by all these zombies, and a grenade goes off, and Eric all of a sudden just flies to the ground. I'm calling him Eric because of how he was in Billy Madison, and he's laying on the ground. He's like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me! A freaking merman eats him!" I was laughing. I was like, "Irony!" It's like how they said in Death Battle. Yeah, I always wanted me a pet raptor. I was gonna name him Barney after I found out what irony was. Watch Death Battle. It's awesome. So, as they're going through all these levels, you see all these people die. And, you know, you want these people to die because you felt sorry for all the people that were getting sacrificed. So then they finally run into, they get to the main level after, Richard dies, and when Richard gets stabbed to death by the stoner, he whispers to the Virgin, he whispers to kill him, and then we run into Sigourney Weaver, who Sigourney Weaver says that all the people who had to die in order, the whore had to die first, the jock, then the scholar, the stoner, and the Virgin was supposed to survive. So basically, Sigourney Weaver is basically saying, if you die, the world survives. Because basically, if they didn't do this, then the world would have been doomed. We would have been doomed. So then she has the gun and she's pointing it at him. She's gonna kill him. And she's like, I'm sorry, your life over the millions of others on this planet. She's like, I'm sorry, and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry too. All of a sudden, a werewolf comes out and starts chewing on her and eating her. And so Sigourney Weaver and friend Kranz have a fight and go at it, and she's like the main head company of this, like, so she's just wailing on them. They're like having a UFC fight, punching each other, trying to like push each other over the side and everything. And then all of a sudden, this one redneck zombie's been chasing after him. His thing is he always has a bear trap on a chain, and that's how he caught the whore. He threw it on her and he dragged her and he killed her. So he moves out of the way, and she shoots the werewolf. No, hold on. She's getting chomped on by the werewolf. The big zombie guy, Sterling moves out of the way. He pushes Sigourney Weaver and the zombie off into the smoke, and he saves. No. Yeah. He saves. He saves the Virgin, and you know they're sitting there smoking weed before they die, because like the gods are coming back, so they're like, angry evil gods. I was wanting to see them. You know what? Me too. That would have been an awesome weekend. So then all of a sudden we get the whole place is like shattering, and they're just sitting there holding each other's arms like, okay, I'll see you in heaven or whatever. So all of a sudden this big gigantic volcanic hand comes up and comes to the ground. The cabin's destroyed. The movie's over. This was possibly one of Godfrey's one of his better films, one of his good films, because I was not very impressed with World War Z. Cloverfield, it's one of those hidden footage films that was bumped up to be good, but not as good as it could have been. This, I'd have to say, is probably one of his better films. It is a good horror film. And it's also kind of a good action film if you look at it, because with the gods and everything in it. But it's like one of the old classics. It's like from Supernatural season 1 or season 2, I believe, that where these people, the town is sacrificing people to the scarecrow god, but they always feed the people before they die. So, you know, this kind of brought some nostalgia back for me watching that one episode of Supernatural. So, guys, if you are wanting to check out one of Godfrey's movies, I honestly suggest, if you want to watch Cloverfield or World War Z, Cloverfield is not that good of a movie. World War Z is okay. Probably his best film is The Cabin in the Woods. I honestly recommend checking it out. Hope you look forward to watching my other reviews of October and November. Guys, I will get these reviews out as soon as I can. Please be patient. Thank you all for being patient. Have a good night, guys.